Hey guys, welcome back to Bronx Porch Homestead, and it is a nice weekend day. So today we did a couple of things in the back already in the morning. I had to get going. My back is still out of whack, so if you've been following me the past couple of days, you will know that my back has not been doing well. I've been putting patches on my back, so anyway, it is getting better a little bit at a time. If you hear that jingle in the back, well, you now know that that is New York City's way of saying spring is here. So whenever you hear the ice cream truck in New York City, that means that spring is here. Okay, real quick. Those snap peas that we did as a trial and error, the birds got to them really good. So not so much the weather, more of the birds. So I ordered netting. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is me planting some potatoes. I want to show you how that looks like, because in an urban environment that you're thinking of planting, these are really, really good for you to do. You just need a container large enough, some soil, some potatoes with eyes, and I'll explain that to you. The bucket gets a little heavy, so make sure that you put it in a place where you don't have to move it after. Charlie's out, and he is right in front of Holly's cage there. This morning I did uncover the birds' walk-in coop, and I removed all the plastic because I checked the weather for the next 2 weeks, and there's no sign of freezing, there's no sign of blizzard. It looks like that we may be coming out of this. Yes, the temperatures will drop 45, 42 Fahrenheit overnight, but the hens are going to be fine. I did leave a little bit of the plastic to the left side there. It's in the middle between their smaller coop and the big coop, but everything else I removed. This way they have something to look at, and they're actually quieter when they can see what's going around. Okay, I started with these potatoes. This is what they look like. Let's bring you close here. So I had bought these seed potatoes, right? They come like that, seed potatoes. You can get them online. You can get them at a nursery. You can get them at a hardware/nursery place, and so these are called Red Norland. There you go. And I put them here just so that I know. So the potatoes come in two forms: determined and indeterminate. I'm not going to go through that now. I'll do a separate video on that. But these are regular determined ones, and in the back of it, the determined ones, all the potatoes grow on the bottom. If it was the indeterminate, they would be growing all the way up the plant. So here I know that they are going to be grown all on the bottom. So this is one huge container. It's a 10-gallon container. Might even be bigger than that, actually. And I filled it up more than halfway, because I know now that these potatoes are going to have mostly the growing potatoes underneath, so that's why they're up higher. So I did put soil past the halfway mark. This is not the halfway mark, this is actually a third up. And I used regular potting soil with a little bit of raised bed soil, some compost on the bottom. And then these are the potatoes. So I did not cut these. There's another way of planting these where these are cut and then you have to cure them until they get that scab. I did not do that this time. I decided to put them in whole. I noticed that last year and the year before that, when I did these, they actually came out better whole than the cut ones. So I decided to do that. So these are all whole ones, and there is the top of what needs to stand up so that the plant grows up. Look at this one. See that? So that's what you should be having when you plant potatoes. Okay? So I just lay this on the top because then you have one here and one here. Also, I plant them a hand away from each other in all directions. So 12 inches I think is too far from each other. I don't know. That's how I feel. And then these, the ones that I plant, I usually just plant them 6 inches, 5 or 6 inches apart from each other, and in on like all sides. This one I already did here. So that's it. I have the top loose soil. I'll put a tag on it so that my family doesn't think that there's nothing in there. And then I have these that are left over, so I need another bucket for these because I don't want to jeopardize this growing and just for the sake of putting these guys in there. So I don't want to do that. So the next one I'll plant will be like another 5. So it looks like I'll need like another 2 buckets. In the meantime, what I've done is I ran out of the soil from the bag that I put there. Sorry, I'm a little slow. I tell you, my back does hurt. And I decided to take soil from a window box that I had. Use what you can. This is why I'm showing it to you, because again, in a small space, in an urban environment, sometimes we just don't all have the perfect materials. So I'm done with perfect. Actually, I don't think that word belongs in the dictionary. So I'm taking the soil, and now I'm just going to put it over. I'm doing this with one hand anyway. Okay, so again, I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to take some of that, put that in there. It's okay if you spill. I have to mix all of this. This is all the poop and the hay from the rabbit's cage, so I'm going to have David mix that when he gets back. Okay, so keep going here. Looks like I may finish the entire, I may just use all the soil from the raised bed. And again, the reason I do that instead of flipping it over is because of my back. So, no, I cannot sit still. If you're asking, well, why don't you rest your back a little bit? That ain't gonna happen. Especially now I know that. Okay, guys, so potatoes cannot see light of day at all. All right, so I am going to finish up by continuing to empty this out. I think now, let me see if I could do this. Yes, I could do this with one hand now. I can't do it with 2, but I could do it with 1. All right, so I'm gonna bring this over. Here's Charlie. Charlie's been out for a little while today. Had to give him a break. Yesterday we took him to get blood work, and it's just like he did not like that. Anyway, I'm putting the rest of the soil in. And oh, look, there's 2 windowsill boxes here. Did not know that. Oh, that's good to know. All right. Now I'll put this back in there and come back here. Okay, so now we are going to take my hand and we're going to level it off. Okay, we're going to level it off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to press down, but not too much, okay? So I'm going to press down. Just going to press down, just a little, just so that soil touches the potatoes' eyes. Those are called eyes, by the way. They're not called roots. They're called eyes. All right. Thanks for bearing with me and me managing with one hand, a bad back, and a video that is probably all over the place. All right. So I wanted to show you that I'm not going to start the other one. I can do that tomorrow. And I can finish that up probably. So again, so now I have two of the buckets here. And this will grow for another 2 months, and I can do a follow-up on that. In the meantime, I'm also now going to cut some of the netting that you see here, and I'm going to put it around the snap pea window box that I have, because now that we planted a couple of seedlings that didn't make it, we are going to plant some fresh ones, but we're going to protect them, because what killed it was not the frost, but it was, well, a little bit, but the rest of it was just eaten. All the leaves and everything was just eating. So let me do that and show you what that looks like. Okay, so as you can see, it is around the window box, and birds are not going to fly underneath. So, but if you still feel that they are, see these little, you get all these little hooks that you can put this on, and it'll just bring it, just leave it down. Okay, so you see how it goes all the way around. Could you see? You see it? Now it's not open, you know, but it has plenty of space now for these snap peas to go up, right? And then let me come this way. I can't go all the way around because of the fence. So here we go. Again, all the way around the window box. And then this is already closed up here. So, okay. So this one here is open. So what I'll do is I'll get a bread tie, because I don't have any, like, I don't have like something that I can grab onto here, and just tie this here. Tie this here with the bread tie. But hopefully that'll work, guys. Okay, so I show this video because we are improvising with growing snap peas in a window box that looks like it's over a foot in depth, and we have 6 snap peas in here with bird netting, because these birds do love them. So as you can see, what happened to the first one, between the blizzard and the birds, they just didn't make it. So I'm so glad that we planted the rest of them. Well, I'm glad that I did a little bit with you, you know, today. I showed you a little bit about the potatoes and how I planted those. I didn't go in depth. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that I learned about determinant and indeterminate, and the different types of, you know, potatoes, and cut them and don't cut them. So my goal was to show you that even in a small place like this, in a tiny place where I have pavement, because I can't even take up the pavement, so I'm really restricted to a very tiny place, that I can grow potatoes in a container. And so I'm, you know, don't think that you can't. And then the other thing I wanted to show you with the snap peas, my goal was that when something happens, don't give up. There's always a solution to the problem, you know, from the original problem. My goal was to plant snap peas, and I was going to try to do everything possible to make that happen, even though I have a lot of birds in this tiny space. So that's it for now, and I'll see you the next time.